Today I'll be teaching you how to make a very popular Awadhi dish which is called Nalli Nihari. For that, traditionally for the Nalli Nihari or Nihari in general, we use the tougher cuts of lamb, the cuts which take longer to cook, right? The cuts which get a lot of exercise, for example the leg of the lamb and the shank of the lamb, they get a lot of exercise and hence they become very tough, right? So those are the ideal cuts for Nihari because it's a very long process. It's a very moist style of cooking, right? The stewing process. So I'm using the shank part or the nalli part of the lamb. And then I've taken 2 shanks, which is roughly half a kg, right? And then I'll need some whole spices. I'll need some bay leaf, some black cardamom, and some cloves. And after that, I'll need to prepare the gravy. And for that, I'll need around 3 sliced onions, 3 medium-sized onions, about a tablespoon of ginger garlic paste, half a cup of beaten Indian yogurt, and then I'll need some powdered spices. I'll need Kashmiri red chili powder for the color. I'll need turmeric, a lot of turmeric, around 1.5–2 tablespoons of turmeric. A little low on the chili part, right? It's not very hot. Actually, it's hot, but it doesn't get the heat from the red chili powder. And then I'll need around 2–3 teaspoons of coriander powder. I'll need salt, and I'll need whole wheat flour. Now, what the whole wheat flour does is it gives it's put in the end. It gives a really nice shine to the gravy. And in the end, we'll need Nihari masala. Now, to prepare Nihari masala, we'll need these items. This is vetiver root, or as we call it in Hindi, khas ki jad. And then we need galangal or pan ki jad. We'll need stone flowers or dagar phool. We'll need green cardamom or choti ilaichi. We'll need a cinnamon stick. This is a 1-inch cinnamon stick. Some javitri or mace. We'll need around 4 to 5 long peppers, or as we call it in Hindi, pipli. We'll need around 20 grams of black pepper, around 5 grams of rose petals, dried rose petals, around 2 to 3 grams of allspice, right? We call it kebab chini in Hindi, and in the end, around 2 to 3 grams of black cumin seeds, or as we call it in Hindi, shahi jeera. Now, I'll have to toast these and blend it into a fine powder. Now, to start the recipe, I'll just turn on the gas to a medium flame and put this pot over it. And to this, I'll add mustard oil and let it smoke for around 2 to 3 minutes. Now the oil is hot, so I'll start adding the whole spices. I'll add 1 each of bay leaf and black cardamom, around 4 to 5 pieces of cloves. And to this, I'll add the onion. And I will saute the onions till they are slightly brown. Now, as you can see, the onions have started to brown. So to this, I'll add the pieces of lamb. I just increase the heat a bit and sear the lamb nicely. Now the lamb has seared nicely. I'll add the ginger garlic paste to it. And then I'll let it cook for around 2 to 3 minutes. Now while that happens, I'll prepare the masala. For that, I'll take the curd in a bowl. Make sure you have beaten the curd. And to this, I'll add around 2 teaspoons of red chili powder, 4 to let's say 5 teaspoons of turmeric powder, and 2 and a half teaspoons of coriander powder. Check the lamb. I'll just take a fork and mix the spice mixture with the curd. And then I'll add this curd and spice mixture to the lamb. I'll mix everything together. Now I'll just reduce the flame a bit and let the curd dry out for around 30 to 40 seconds. And now to this I'll add a lot of water. This is a very moist cooking process, so we can add a lot of water to this. Just mix all the masalas. And now I'll cover this with a lid and let it simmer for around 1.5 hours. And obviously I'll have to keep stirring it from time to time. Now it has been simmering for around half an hour. Yeah. So I'll just add just a little bit of salt to it, around 1.5 teaspoons. Just mix it and cover it back. Now I'll check this after 1.5 hours. Now if you have time, you can do this, or if you are in a hurry, you can pressure cook this at this stage. Pressure cook the lamb, I mean, at this stage. Now it's been just a little bit more than an hour, and the lamb has almost cooked perfectly. So I'll just prepare the nihari masala now. So for that, I'll have to lightly toast them and then powder them. Now while powdering them, I'll have to sieve them after, because some items in this, for example the vetiver root or the galangal, they won't be powdered in a very fine way. So I'll have little tidbits of leftover masala which won't be tasting good in the nihari, right? So I'll have to sieve them. Now the lamb has been cooking for almost 2 hours and it is well cooked. Yeah. And I have grinded the dry masalas. Now the quantity I showed you was for around 1 kg of mutton. Now I have taken half kg, so I'll take half the masala. So for that, I'll take a bowl and add a little bit of water to it. And to this, I'll add half the masala. Around a tablespoon of whole wheat flour or atta. Now atta gives a really nice shine to the overall texture, and just a little splash of kevda water. I'll just mix it together. Then I'll add this mixture to the lamb. Now because of the atta, as the gravy starts to boil, it will also start to thicken. Now if you want the gravy, if the gravy is becoming too thick, like in this case, you can add a little bit of water. At this stage, if you want to adjust the seasoning, you can do so. Now the gravy is ready, the nihari is ready. So I'll just cover it up and remove it from the flame and keep it aside. And now I will prepare what's called a tira. Now in a pan, I have taken the spices that could not be blended properly, right? You can see the vetiver roots, the galangal, all the leftover spices. So I'll just put them back on the heat. Add some ghee to it. And around 1.5 teaspoon of red chili powder, Kashmiri red chili powder. Just a little bit of ghee. Now what this does is, whatever leftover flavor was there in the spices, the ghee absorbs it, right? In the end, just a splash of kevda water. The tira is done. So I just keep this aside. Put the nihari back on the flame. And then I'll just sieve this tira over the nihari. Mix everything together and the nihari is ready to be plated.